time. We definitely gonna try to take each other's heads off, and the closer the fight goes, we both gonna be eager to, show who's the more dominant fighter.
At the seams, you gotta pick a side. I'm going with Crawford. I'm here to support Crawford.
But boxing IQ is off the charts. You know what I'm saying? Next to Canelo, not taking nothing away from him.
Terence Crawford shook the room and left Piers Morgan momentarily speechless during a live TV segment when he dropped a chilling, 5-word statement: "We're going to take each other's heads off." That single phrase sliced through the air like a warning siren, and he wasn't done. With absolute certainty, Crawford declared, "A win against Canelo Alvarez would put me on Mount Rushmore." The composure with which he spoke wasn't cocky, it was calculated. Viewers could feel the shift, recognizing this wasn't typical pre-fight bravado. It was a declaration of war from a man who sees the fight as a legacy-defining event. Crawford wasn't selling a fight, he was laying out a destiny.
Deteriorate, in camp. But, a win against Canelo Alvarez, what it would do to my career would put me, on Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
I think I would be one of the greatest fighters.
During a recent press conference, Terence Crawford's self-assurance radiated in every word and gesture. He didn't hesitate to poke fun at Canelo Alvarez's physical stature, drawing laughter from some and gasps from others, but his message was deadly serious. He warned Canelo that what's coming won't be like anything he's faced before. The comments, although laced with humor, were a direct strike at Canelo's pride. Crawford didn't just want to win, he aimed to dismantle. The way he spoke reflected a fighter not only in supreme physical condition but mentally operating at championship frequency. This wasn't just psychological warfare, it was a chilling preview of what he's bringing into the ring.
Yeah. The only running that I'm gonna be doing is running upside his head, and I can assure you that. Facts. And he got a big head too.
Promoter Eddie Hearn, a man who has been around countless champions, confessed that he was taken aback by the strength of Crawford's conviction. What impressed Hearn the most wasn't just Crawford's resume or physical capabilities, but the unwavering belief in his own preparation and talent. He spoke of Crawford like a man on a mission, calm, composed, but fiercely determined. Even knowing the threat Canelo poses, Hearn saw no doubt in Crawford's eyes. According to him, it's that kind of self-assurance, the quiet kind, that separates legends from contenders. Crawford isn't hoping to win, he's mentally and spiritually prepared to make it inevitable.
I'm going back and forwards, to be honest with you. Like, when I talk to Bud, he convinces me that he's going to win the fight because he's such a believer in his own ability, and he's very convincing. And then you see the presser yesterday, and I thought Canelo looked really well. Do you know what I mean? Obviously he's a big lump, so I was always Canelo, then I sort of leant towards Bud, but now I'm back with Canelo. So.
Renowned trainer Bill Haney added fuel to Crawford's momentum by publicly aligning himself with Team Crawford. But Haney didn't just express support, he practically embedded himself in Crawford's mentality. He spoke as someone who's seen the depths of this sport and understands what true greatness looks like. Haney's confidence wasn't based on hype, but rather a deep respect for Crawford's discipline, mindset, and skill set. When a respected boxing veteran speaks this boldly in support of a fighter, it signals more than fandom, it signifies trust, experience, and an intimate knowledge of what it takes to win at the highest level.
Well, for everybody that was straddling the fence, straddling got your pants split. At the seams, you gotta pick a side. I'm going with Crawford. I'm here to support Crawford. He done signed up to do what everybody thought that he wasn't trying to be, a generational talent. Another fighter on the Mount Rushmore of boxing. Yeah, so don't split your pants, pick one.
Derek James, one of the most respected trainers in the game, didn't mince words when addressing Canelo's team. He warned that preparing for Crawford requires more than just reviewing old tape or assuming traditional tactics will work. James emphasized that Crawford is not a conventional fighter, he adapts, recalibrates, and responds mid-fight with surgeon-like precision. Most of Canelo's past opponents, he argued, lacked the ability to make in-fight adjustments. Crawford, on the other hand, thrives in chaos. With his sharp timing, fluid movement, and unpredictable rhythm, Crawford brings a puzzle that even the most well-prepared teams might struggle to solve.
Crawford he believes he's doing it. Like, he believes he's the one. So that's the difference between him and any other fighter that Canelo fight. Because Canelo, people fight the idea of Canelo Alvarez opposed to fighting the individual. The thought of him is what puts fear in their heart. But he doesn't care about that because he's Terence Crawford, so it's a totally different thing. So if he can implement his strategy and ride it out to the end of the fight, he's going to be successful. But if Canelo can do what he needs to do, and the timing has to be on point, because he's not that fast as Crawford is. It's all about timing.
Brian Bomac McIntyre, the chief architect behind Crawford's game plan, spoke with unwavering confidence about his fighter's readiness. From grueling cardio drills to detailed film sessions and technical sparring, Bomac insisted that every element of camp had been flawless. But more importantly, he highlighted the mental clarity that Crawford is carrying into this fight. According to Bomac, it's not just about conditioning or strength, it's about ring IQ, situational awareness, and execution. He believes that Crawford's ability to combine instinct with strategy will give him the decisive edge when it matters most.
Styles makes fights. Bud got the better skills, and he got the better mind too.
Do you think with the styles in mind, but also the weight in mind, he can get that job done based on he's just so much more excelling in the skill?
You know what? He gonna get the job done. I promise you. He'll get the job done. You know, because you know, Bud boxing IQ is off the charts. You know what I'm saying? Next to Canelo, I'm not taking nothing away from him, but Bud just a little bit better.
Bomac also addressed a criticism that has followed Crawford for years, the belief that he hasn't faced enough elite competition. But Bomac flipped that narrative on its head, explaining that the illusion of weak opposition is a byproduct of Crawford's dominance. Time and again, Crawford makes top-level opponents look average, not because they're lacking, but because his mastery of the sport is so profound. Neutralizing dangerous threats and rendering elite challengers ineffective isn't a sign of weak competition, it's the mark of a generational talent. In Bomac's words, Crawford's greatness lies in how easy he makes the hard stuff look.
About the pound-for-pound #1 in the world, Terence Crawford. Always making headlines these days. He's cemented his legacy. I think certified Hall of Famer whenever he wraps it up. Stepped up in weight, won another world title last time out. Now they're talking about this fight with Canelo Alvarez. It was interesting to see the comments from Canelo and how he sort of assessed Bud Crawford's career. I almost feel after the Spence fight that was like an exclamation point on everything he's done, maybe from the critics who never gave him credit. But it almost seems like Canelo was downplaying his achievements. What do you make of that? Is that to build a fight? Because it sells itself.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I think Crawford rebuttal was everybody always say, he hasn't fought nobody, or everybody that he fought was in no name. But I'm gonna tell you like this: what Crawford said, well, there was something until Crawford fought him. So obviously he's doing a great job because he's making everybody look normal.
Not everyone, like when they go against Canelo, I don't think there's anyone else in boxing who you would ask and say this is a possible task for Crawford because he's pound-for-pound abilities. And apparently no rehydration clause, am I hearing that right? He wants full smoke at that weight.
Let's go, man. That's what Crawford wants. He wants to show the world that he's the best, so why put stipulations in there when you know that you can be the best? So, let's go test ourselves.
The pre-fight promotional run has ignited the sport, with emotions escalating through every face-off, stare-down, and exchanged word. What began as a clash of rankings and styles has morphed into something far deeper. Each shove, each glare, every carefully chosen insult has added a new layer of tension. Fans aren't just anticipating a fight, they're witnessing the creation of a modern boxing saga. It's become about more than belts or statistics. This is about legacy, national pride, identity, and proving once and for all who deserves to be called the face of the sport. The energy surrounding this showdown is undeniable, and it's only growing stronger.
Canelo pushes Crawford. This might be the biggest fight of the past 50 years. This is gonna be crazy, guys. Look at this. Look. Dana White in the middle, UFC involved, WWE involved. Y'all think this was real? It looked real to me. I don't know. Crawford was staring them down too.
Whispers in the boxing community are growing louder. Many now believe Canelo Alvarez may be overlooking the full extent of the threat Terence Crawford brings. While the spotlight often focuses on Canelo's proven durability and ring generalship, analysts and seasoned fans alike argue that Crawford's power has been drastically underrated.
What makes his punching ability so alarming isn't brute force, it's precision, patience, and deception. Crawford doesn't swing wildly, he lures, waits, and strikes with sniper-like accuracy. His shots come from unpredictable angles and are timed to perfection. That's what has some insiders wondering, is Canelo truly ready for a fighter who could deliver a career-defining knockout with surgical precision?
Yo, Canelo is about to get knocked out for the first time in his career. Y'all really playing with Crawford, bro. Y'all don't realize how much power Crawford actually has. I don't care what weight class he's coming up from. Canelo has never fought anybody like Crawford. I'm just kidding, bro. Obviously, I'm just kidding, bro. You guys, like, you really thought I was with the bullshit? Like, come on, we know. Yo, Canelo different, bro. He's looking like a lion right now, like the king of the jungle type shit with the stare down, bro. Like this man, if y'all really think this man is gonna get knocked down, this guy has, look, you could say they both the same size, you know what I'm saying? He got a longer reach, whatever. But this dude has fought bigger and better opponents than Crawford, and he has never gotten dropped a single time in his career. You think this little guy is gonna do something to Canelo? I'm gonna keep it a buck. If he manages to knock down Canelo, I'm gonna give Crawford all the props in the world, because that would be crazy. But he's not doing that.
There's been a lot of chatter about the dangers of moving up in weight, but Terence Crawford doesn't see it as a gamble, he sees it as a challenge worth embracing. He's unfazed by the size disparity or the pressure of facing one of the sport's most dangerous men.
Time and time again, Crawford has stepped into the ring as the underdog only to dismantle supposedly superior opponents. His strength isn't just in his skill set, it's in his mindset. This isn't a publicity stunt or a high-stakes risk for him, it's another obstacle to crush, another barrier to break. Crawford's belief is simple and unshakable: boxing greatness is determined not by weight class, but by willpower, mastery, and the heart to rise when others fold.
The excuses why he don't want to take a fight with me. If it's all about business, then you doing good business. If I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, well, you know, you would take all that money that he's offering you. But yet and still, he want $200 million for Benavidez, and he want $150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him, I'm a threat to his legacy, because it would be crazy for a guy that started at 135 to come all the way up to 168, your weight, no catch weight, no none of that, and dethrone you. So, you know, he got that in the back of his head. You know, this guy, for one, he's tough. For two, he's a boxer, he moves, he can punch, he can do it all.
Despite all the heated moments and headline-making exchanges, a surprising layer of respect exists between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. Beneath the surface-level intensity, both men have acknowledged each other's accomplishments and dedication. A recent viral clip showing the two sharing a quiet meal together offered a rare glimpse into that mutual respect. It's a reminder that behind the tough talk are two consummate professionals who understand the magnitude of this moment. Their rivalry is built not on personal hatred, but on competitive fire. That balance of fierce aggression and quiet admiration adds nuance to the showdown. This fight isn't just a grudge match, it's a battle between warriors who know exactly what's on the line.
I don't like this right here. I don't like this at all. Now, I know y'all love Turkey. I like him too. He puts on good fights. And I get that he's trying to show that, hey, through the sport is love and unison. No matter who's the biggest, the baddest, whatever, they still support each other. And I'm cool with that. But before the fight, I need that feel of, oh man, yeah, these two going at it. These two want to beat each other's ass. They want to knock each other out. That's how a fight build-up should be. I shouldn't be seeing these two sitting across from each other eating. Now, I'm not even talking about promotion. The fight doesn't need to be promoted. Two of the biggest fighters of our era, bang. But I need the promotion of oh yeah, I want to get violent with this person. I want to knock this person's head off. I'm not saying they're not going to put on a good fight. I'm just saying I want the build-up. That's what makes the fight even better. It's the build-up. Think of all the past fights that happened. Even recently, Ryan Garcia in Tank. Shit, Ryan Garcia in freaking Haney. You know, fights like that. The build-up was so, because even in the pre-fight, it was hatred or, hey, I want to beat you up type stuff. Now it's oh, I'm sitting across from you eating dinner, having laughing. Nah, man, we can do this after the fight. That's fine. Before that fight, I'm locked in. I want to see that. Oh, I'm locked in. I'm ready to knock him out. I don't know. That's just my opinion. You know, I know a lot of y'all have your opinions, but comment what y'all think about this and follow your book.
Analysts from respected platforms like the Showbiz The Adult have added depth to the discussion by emphasizing that timing may play a more decisive role than raw power in this fight. While Canelo is known for his iron chin and ability to absorb heavy shots, Crawford's greatest weapon might be his ability to land the right punch at the perfect moment. Experts argue that it's not about how hard Crawford hits, it's about how cleverly and accurately he does it. If Canelo miscalculates even slightly and leaves an opening, Crawford could capitalize with a counter that changes the entire fight. And if that counter lands flush, it could be the moment that delivers Canelo's first knockout loss, a moment boxing history won't forget.
Question I have, which I didn't ask before, because Canelo's chin is one of the greatest chins in history. But looking at the size of Crawford, if he can keep his speed, he's definitely going to keep his timing, he's definitely going to keep his accuracy. Crawford is a knockout artist. The reason why Crawford is a knockout artist is because of his hand-eye coordination, accuracy, and timing. He hits you with shit that you're not expecting. That shit that he hit Errol Spence with, he didn't expect it, that's why he dropped. Same thing with Kell Brook. He's gonna hit Canelo with something weird. Canelo ain't gonna be able to roll out of it. Because Crawford's timing is different. Canelo's gonna get hit with flush. But the thing is, Berlanga hit Canelo flush after the bell. So that lets you know what kind of chin he has. I'm just saying, can he stymie, can he bell ring Canelo a little bit? Can he sting him a bit to make Canelo not tank for 12 rounds?
Veteran boxing journalist Dan Rafael offered an introspective take on Crawford's motives. According to Rafael, this fight isn't about chasing a payday, it's about chasing immortality. For Crawford, it's about etching his name into the annals of history not as a champion who played it safe, but as a fighter who dared to cross every line, defy every odd, and fight the biggest names regardless of size or risk. It's the kind of bold leap that distinguishes greatness from true legacy. The danger is real, the risk is high, but Crawford isn't backing down. He's all in, and he's not fighting for headlines, he's fighting for a place among legends.
I think Terence Crawford is a marvelous boxer, arguably the best in the world, pound for pound. But can you hurt Canelo? If you can't hurt him, I have no doubt he can outbox him. My issue is, if you can't hurt him, what kind of a challenge can you truly pose? What do you say to that?
No, that's a great point. I mean, here's the thing. Canelo Alvarez has a historically great chin. Now, I go way back when he first came to the United States and started boxing, and he found himself on an HBO pay-per-view undercard years and years ago, fighting against the older brother of the great Miguel Cotto. His name was Jose Miguel Cotto, and he had gotten a ton of hype. He had signed with Golden Boy Promotions, and a lot of those of us in the media. And I had seen him a couple of times before that. This is my first time seeing him in person, really paying close attention. And he almost got knocked out in the first round. And I remember Stephen A., all of us looking around at Media Row going, what the heck is this all hype about? This man can't take a shot. He's going to get drilled. He was lucky that the fight was over, that the round was over in round one, or there might have been some much more trouble. Stephen A., that was 16, 17 years ago. I've never seen him wobbled, rocked, physically, visibly hurt since then. He has an all-time great chin going in the ring with tremendous punchers. Terence Crawford coming up 2 weight classes, do any damage. Yeah, he's a slick boxer, and he's also a good puncher in the welterweight division, in the junior welterweight division, in the lightweight division. But even at junior middleweight, which is where Terence Crawford had his most recent fight back in August, when he moved up and he won a world title, he didn't blow the doors off. He fought a very tough, solid opponent named Israel Madrimov. He gave him a good fight. It was very close. Madrimov's people seem to think he might have even been able to edge it out. But if you can't hurt an Israel Madrimov at 154, what the heck are you going to do with Canelo Alvarez, the sturdiest guy in the world, at 168? So that aspect of it is certainly a problem. You mentioned about Charlo. Charlo was there to get his check. I know one thing about Terence Crawford. He's not going to just come to turn up to get the check. He'll at least try. And Charlo, I don't think really.
Technically, this matchup is one of the most intriguing in recent memory. Canelo's style, calculated, methodical, and pressure-heavy, is built around wearing opponents down with precision and body punishment. Crawford, on the other hand, is a master of adaptability, movement, and rhythm disruption. He doesn't just fight, he solves puzzles in real time. Experts are already circling the early rounds as the key battleground. If Crawford can establish range, control the tempo, and frustrate Canelo with constant movement, he could neutralize the Mexican champion's offensive rhythm. But if Canelo manages to close the distance and start digging to the body, Crawford may find himself in dangerous territory. Their opposing styles promise not just fireworks, but a tactical chess match with enormous stakes.
I think Canelo, he likes to go to the same combinations, quite repetitively, whereas Crawford is unpredictable, and despite him not having the size, it's the shots that you don't see that hurt the most, and maybe Crawford can hit him with some unexpected shit. And because of the repetitiveness of Canelo, maybe he can time him, maybe he can counterpunch with him, because Crawford is unbelievable at that. But I'm fascinated to see if Crawford has the power to get the respect of Canelo Alvarez, because when you don't, it's a long night. It's not nice. Like Crawford did well against Madrimov, and he won that fight for me quite clearly. But Madrimov was countering him. If you can counter the counter puncher, you can give them a lot of problems when they're not used to that. And Canelo can counter people really well. And as great as Terence Crawford is, we've never seen him in there with someone with the power of Canelo Alvarez. This is a different world of power. And look, maybe Canelo doesn't throw as many shots as he used to, and maybe Crawford might look at that and go, you know what, I'm going to try and outpoint this guy, not get into a war with him, but just show my boxing, genius and outpoint him and outland him. That's possible. It is. This is why this is such a fascinating matchup, man. We've been treated to some amazing fights. Usyk Fury, for example, this is another one of those mega fights on Riyadh season. Again, I'm disappointed for Jake Paul, but I am happy for boxing fans, because my God, this is the treat of the year. And look, I'd love to see Canelo in there with a Hamza Shiraz. I love Hamza Shiraz. He's one of my favorite fighters in the world, and I think he's the future.
For Brian Bomac McIntyre, the blueprint to victory lies in the details. Strategy is the cornerstone of Team Crawford's preparation, and Bomac believes it's what will ultimately set them apart. He spoke about Crawford's genius-level fight IQ, the ability to read subtle shifts, spot weaknesses, and adapt with uncanny speed. Bomac doesn't downplay Canelo's strengths, he acknowledges them, but sees them as solvable. From precise foot placement to reactive punch selection, every element of Crawford's training camp has focused on dissecting and outmaneuvering Canelo's tendencies. In Bomac's mind, this isn't about surviving, it's about mastering every aspect of the game and proving that Crawford can not only fight with the best, but outthink them at every turn.
I feel fucking great about it, man. Just talking to Bud, and he motivated. He ready to go.
He's been waiting a long time for this fight, you know what I mean? You guys are taking off a long time, just waiting for the Canelo fight. You haven't fought since August last year. Do you think that's gonna make him better, sharper?
You know what? It's gonna make Bud wiser. Make him wiser. Give his time, his body to heal up, rest up a little bit. Dinks here, dinks there. Take his time getting in shape, get his mind right.
Now,
go in there and do it and make it happen.
A lot of people's talking about the weight. They're talking about that, Bud going up 2 weight classes. He didn't look in spectacular form at 154, but, he's going up in weight to face a bigger guy. What do you say about that?
Let's go, man. Let's go. It ain't about weight all the time.
That wraps up today's breakdown of the fight. The hype, strategy, respect, and rival energy are all building toward a moment that could reshape boxing history. Stay tuned for more updates as this blockbuster showdown draws closer.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. For more exciting videos, make sure to hit the bell icon and stay updated. Subscribe to Boxing Hub now for all the latest in boxing.